Theseus takes in the scenery from his palace in Athens. He grows impatient as it seems to him that his marriage to Hippolyta, the conquered former queen of the Amazons, will never come. She comforts him, reminding him that it is in fact just 4 days away. Aegeus and his daughter Hermia enter. The atmosphere between them is tense, as Hermia is refusing her father's instruction to marry Demetrius. She is in love with Lysander, though her father senses that Lysander has resorted to some sort of trickery to bewitch his daughter. Theseus agrees that Hermia must follow her father's command, and should she not do so, then she will have to join a convent or die. She has until the wedding to decide. Lysander joins the argument, contending that he is the equal of Demetrius, except that his feelings for Aegeus have been more consistent. And furthermore, Demetrius has recently declared love for another woman, Helena. Hippolyta is now quite upset with this conversation, and the threat of Hermia's death will upset the level of happiness which she hopes the wedding will bring her. Lysander, now left alone with Hermia, assures her that these troubles aren't that exceptional, but that true love always wins out. However, to give true love a fighting chance, he has hatched a simple plan. If they leave Athens and Athenian law, they will escape her father's punishments. Helena arrives now, and she feels a little forlorn. What has Hermia got that she hasn't? Why has Hermia captivated Demetrius, and why can't Helena do the same? After Hermia and Lysander confide their plan to her, Helena decides to repeat it to Demetrius. Maybe that will endear her to him. Peter Quince is the director of a play which will be performed at the wedding of Theseus and Hippolyta. They are going to perform a tragic story of two young lovers who die after a clandestine meeting. The troupe have gathered at Quince's home, and they are trying to assign roles. Unfortunately, one of the troupe, a weaver named Nick Bottom, is trying to usurp Quince's authority. Bottom is to play the leading character in the performance. Flute is to play the leading lady, a fact that quite upsets him, as he has been trying to grow a beard. Luckily, he can wear a mask, so no need to shave then. Snug is to play the lion, although Bottom wants that role as well, seeing as he feels he has a very realistic roar. That could be a problem, though. What if his roar is too realistic? What if he scares the ladies in the audience? What if they die of fright? What if Theseus has them hanged for killing his guests? Quince convinces Bottom to drop his insistence. After all, who else can play the lead as commandingly? Snug will be the lion. The cast leave to learn their lines and rehearse. We now find ourselves in the woods outside of Athens, and in the home of Oberon and Titiana and their band of fairies. Robin Goodfellow, or Puck, Oberon's mischievous elf, is talking to one of Titiana's attendants. Puck is keen that Titiana doesn't come this way, as Oberon has been revelling and he is already angry with Titiana because she won't give him a boy that she has been doting on. The boy is a child of one of her close friends, and she promised to raise him. The attendant recognizes Puck now and accuses him of all sorts of mischief, which of course Puck can't deny. Oberon and Titiana now enter from opposite ends, and the fight begins. They accuse each other of infidelity, and Titiana claims that his treatment of her has plunged the whole world into chaos. He says that she should let go of the boy, but she will not. Oberon sends Puck in search of the love in idleness flower, a plant so powerful that when someone has some of its juice poured on their eyelids, they dote on the first thing they see. He will use it to make Titiana fall in love with an animal, and then won't release her from the spell until he has the child. Now alone, Oberon sits and continues plotting. Demetrius and Helena pass by, though they cannot see Oberon. Helena is pursuing Demetrius, but he wants her to leave him alone, and threatens to harm her if she doesn't. Puck returns and is told by Oberon, sympathetic to the poor Helena, to anoint the Athenian's eyes, referring to Demetrius. Unfortunately, Puck doesn't know which Athenian Oberon is referring to, as he never saw the couple pass by himself. Titiana is soothed to sleep by a lullaby sung by her fairies. Oberon sneaks up on her, applies the flower-based potion, and casts a spell on her so that she won't wake until something really nasty passes by her. As Oberon leaves, a lost Lysander and Hermia arrive. They cannot see the sleeping Titiana. They decide to stop and sleep in that spot. Hermia insists that they sleep apart, seeing as they are not yet married. Once they are asleep, Puck arrives and assumes Lysander to be the Athenian Oberon was talking about. He applies the potion and leaves. Demetrius and Helena pass by, with her still pursuing him. Demetrius manages to lose her, and she sees and recognizes Lysander. She wakes him, and the spell takes effect. Lysander declares his love for her, saying that he no longer cares for Hermia and has set her aside. Helena thinks that she has been teased and flees, for once, with someone pursuing her. Hermia wakes to find herself alone. Afraid, she heads into the woods. The troupe of actors are rehearsing their play. The egotistical Bottom has reservations, though. His character stabs himself, and the line is too frightening. They are surely going to scare Theseus' guests to death. They agree that they'll add a prologue, where Bottom will explain that he doesn't really kill himself, and the line will show some of his face, so people will know that it isn't a real line. The director, Peter Quince, has more concerns. They need moonlights and a brick wall. Moonlight is solved by checking the calendar. They'll just need to keep a window open. They'll solve the other problem by dressing someone up as a wall. Problem solved. An amused Puck watches on, and as Bottom wants to come on stage, Puck pranks him by giving him a donkey's head. Bottom doesn't realize, though, that he has a different head, so he's surprised when the rest of the cast flee as he walks on stage. Bottom walks away, singing to himself. He wakes Titiana, who falls madly in love with him, and orders 4 fairies to wait on her new love's every need. Puck reports back to Oberon. Titiana is in love with a donkey-headed Bottom, and the Athenian is in love with the girl he was so recently jilting. Demetrius and Hermia arrive, and Puck realizes his mistake. This is the same girl he saw, but she is not with the same man he anointed. Unaware of Puck and Oberon, Hermia accuses Demetrius of murdering Lysander. He pleads innocence, but she isn't having any of it. Demetrius falls asleep while Hermia continues to look for Lysander. Oberon isn't amused at Puck's mix-up, and orders Puck to pour potion on Demetrius' eyes, and to go find Helena. Lysander and Helena arrive themselves, and she is still unhappy, thinking she has been teased. They wake Demetrius, who falls in love with Helena too. Helena now thinks that they are both teasing her, and she's really getting angry about it. Hermia's arrival doesn't help. She is shocked that Lysander claims to not love her anymore, and Helena thinks that Hermia is in on the prank, and this upsets her even more. Once they have all left, Oberon forces Puck to fix this before someone gets killed. They'll cast a fog over the forest to disorient and exhaust the Athenians. When they wake up, it will all seem like a dream. A dream in summer, the middle of summer. A midsummer night. Still feeling sympathy towards Helena, he orders that Demetrius will still love her. He heads to Titiana to get the child. Bottom is having a wonderful time. Head scratches, honey brought to him, bliss. Oberon arrives and feels pity for Titiana. He uses a herb to break the spell, and when she wakes, she thinks it was all a dream. A dream in summer, the middle of summer. Oberon orders Puck to remove the donkey's head from Bottom. Oberon gets the young boy from Titiana, and the two are at peace. They go to give their blessing to Theseus and Hippolyta's marriage. Theseus, Hippolyta, and Aegeus are taking a walk themselves. They happen upon the four young people. They find the scene confusing for a few reasons. Chief among those are how Demetrius and Lysander, sworn enemies, should be found sleeping together. Once they wake up, Demetrius declares his love for Helena, another surprise. Theseus decides that everyone should marry the ones they love, and he will share his wedding day with all of them. Bottom awakes from his own dream. He thinks he'll get Quince to compose a ballad about it, and he will sing it at her death. We do not find out who her is. The actors are beside themselves. Without Bottom, they can't perform their play, and he is nowhere to be seen. They're sure that Theseus will reward them for their amazing play, but if they can't perform, they'll be missing a real chance. Luckily, Bottom arrives at that moment, and they all go to the wedding. Back at the palace, Theseus and Hippolyta chat about the odd story they were told about last night. The young lovers enter, and the entertainment is chosen. Quince's troupe present the summary of their play, merry and tragic, tedious and brief. Despite an attempt to dissuade him, Theseus chooses this play. We then watch the play, but it isn't going well. Theseus, however, is generous in reserving his criticism, despite phrases like, "O wall, O sweet and lovely wall." However, even Theseus reaches breaking point when Bottom offers the chance of an epilogue or a dance. And so the curtain falls on this happy scene. Puck sweeps the stage as he gives a dark and ominous poem about death and darkness. Oberon and Titiana then contrast this with blessings on the marriage and the children that will come from it. Finally, Puck turns to us and apologizes for the quality of this play. They'll do better next time.